Hi guys! If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. My name is Niera and I talk about all things great for the mind, body, and soul. So y'all, your girl turned 30. 30, yes. I turned 30 about 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to record this video to talk about 29 things I learned in my 20s to kind of celebrate me walking into a new decade. So get your pen and paper, your popcorn or snacks, your drink, okay? Because we about to get into some things, okay? So I made this list. It is in no specific order of priority. I just numbered it because that's the way my brain operates, okay? I do have it in my handy dandy notes here, so I will be looking down occasionally. But hope you all enjoy the list and I hope you can learn from it. Okay. Number 1. Retire that Superwoman cape for a nice warm blanket and take care of yourself. As a Black woman, just too often are we putting ourselves last and putting everyone first. And it's at the expense of our mental health and our physical health, honestly. And it is time to retire that cape, okay? That Superwoman cape for a blanket, okay? You're stepping into a new decade and prioritizing your mental health, okay? That's something I learned. Number 2. Women who crave male validation to an extreme are dangerous. Run. Sorry. Not only will they place you in unsafe situations, but you will also just be in so many uncomfortable situations because of them. It is extremely dangerous, okay? Prioritize your safety. Run. Number 3. Someone else's plus is not your minus, so stop comparing. I actually did a TikTok on this where I was elaborating on, we're often comparing our chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20. We need to focus on watering our own grass. And when we do that, we're too busy to go across the street and say, is that grass greener over there? So that's something that I've also just learned in my 20s as well. Number 4. No is a complete sentence. Stop over-explaining yourself. This is something that took a lot of practice for me, okay? It is so difficult not to explain myself. I'm like, no, I can't do it because I didn't get any sleep. And no, just say no. It is a complete sentence. Have boundaries. Number 5, be more kind to your parents or guardians. It's their first time doing life too. Now, some things I don't excuse, right? There are some things like sexual abuse, neglect, abandonment, things like that I don't play about. So no, there's no excuse for that. So this is referring to the other general things where sometimes we're really, really hard on our parents and it's their first time doing life too. So just give them some grace. Number 6, privilege is invisible to those who have it. Some people will never acknowledge it. Save your breath. Oh my God. I could spend a whole video talking about that one. Save your breath, seriously. Number 7, not everyone is going to like or support you, and that's okay. The real question is, do you like you and do you support you? I say this all the time. No one's going to take you serious until you do. And that's just the reality. Do you believe in yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you love yourself? That is honestly, truly what matters. Number 8. You are not confrontational. You just don't run from conflict. Healthy conflict management is actually a skill. So often we're told oh, you have an attitude problem or you're aggressive or you're this or you're that. And the reality is, no, I actually just have pretty healthy conflict management skills and I don't run from it. It doesn't mean I'm confrontational. Okay. And that's just something I learned, honestly. Number 9. Now, this one might be a little controversial, but it's just something that I learned in my 20s. The idea of a situationship is a joke because one person considers it a situationship and the other one considers it literally nothing. So just stop. Save yourself the time and the embarrassment. If you want something more serious, stop getting in situationships. Number 10, be more present and in the moment. You'll look back and honestly wish you were. And sometimes I think about this when I think about like relatives who are no longer here, where I was like, gosh, I wish I like was in the moment a little bit more than I was. Or even like at concerts or events or just around loved ones. Like just really be present. Number 11, stop calling everyone your friend. I'm going to say it again. Stop calling everyone your friend. People are acquaintances or associates, and that's okay. But do not use that friend word too loosely, okay? Categorize them for where they need to be, okay? Number 12, travel. It is so important to experience life beyond your zip code for so many reasons. It develops you in ways that like you just can't imagine. That exposure and the experiences that you get is just like no other, if I'm being completely honest with you all. So if you have the privilege, the capacity, and the luxury to be able to travel, specifically travel the world too, do it. I was somebody who was afraid to get on planes, and my best friend was like, oh, let's just, like, believe it or not, I did not start traveling for real until I was like 21. And listen, your girl been on that bird since, okay? I'm getting up out of here. Number 13, get your annual blood work done, please. Okay, annually. So once a year. You never know what is going on, how stress is impacting you, how the foods you're eating are impacting you, environmental factors are impacting you. So you just really, really want to make sure you're getting your annual blood work done and taking care of yourself, okay? Number 14, your body absolutely keeps the score. Heal for the sake of your future self. And what I mean by that is there's actually a book that literally is The Body Keeps the Score. And what that means is all the traumas that we go through and that we suppress, it's still very much in us. And if we do not take steps to properly heal those parts, they will absolutely manifest in ways, whether it's sicknesses, illness, diseases, or just poor mental health and physical health. Okay, so take care of yourself. Number 15, who you are when no one else is around or when there's no one to compare yourself to is actually who you are. And this is something I had to think about, in my 20s, because so often, we're around people and we sort of assimilate to the way they are. And we have to ask ourselves, like, is this who I am really? So it's just something that I thought about. Number 16, there is indeed food at home, okay? Eat out less and cook more. And I know this takes time and preparation, and some of us just don't have the luxury. But y'all, seriously, have you seen the ingredients on some of this stuff? Okay, it's scary. Number 17, do not give that cookie away. And you know what I mean by cookie, okay? We ain't gonna say the P word. Do not give that cookie away until your brain and your executive functions have developed more, okay? Use a rose if you got an itch, okay? If you got a little itch that you need to scratch, not like an itch like that, okay? I mean like you just really fiending for something type itch. Use a rose, okay? They got a couple functions on it. Do what you got to do. Number 18. You should get to know yourself like you would a new friend. You deserve that, okay? Your 20s are about you and exploring who you are as a person and what you like, what you don't like. Get to know yourself. Take yourself out. Do things solo if you need to. Number 19, just because you are free doesn't mean you are available, okay? Have boundaries. Have them, okay? That means sometimes you just have to miss out, and that's okay. Number 20, do more cardio. Cardiovascular health will creep up on you, okay? And your body is changing constantly. Take walks when you can. Most Black women are significantly low in vitamin D. And just by getting extra sunlight and going on walks, like, we do so much for our cardiovascular health. Number 21, which also aligns with number 20, your body is changing. Cater to its ever changing needs. Get in that gym, okay? Y'all, I lost weight in my I was like 24, and it when I say it came off, it came off. But the older I got, okay, it took longer to lose that weight. It really did. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm doing the same things I did. No, like, you have to cater to your body's changing needs. Sometimes you need more cardio. You need to, think about your strength and conditioning training. Like, your body's changing, but make sure that you are taking your health seriously in your 20s, okay? Do not stop going to that gym. And that's what I did, y'all. I stopped for like a year because I was like celebrating, drinking, traveling, doing all the things. And it's like, you still need to prioritize your health very much so during that time, okay? Number 22, stop holding on to relationships or friendships just because there's history there. There are more important factors. Listen, y'all. Grief is real, and grief from friendships is even realer, okay? But the reality is sometimes people really are here for a season, and it doesn't negate from the fact that they were helpful and loving during the time that they were in your life. But sometimes you outgrow people, and sometimes you fear letting it go because of the history that's there. Like, oh no, this has been my girl since, 5 years old, or this, you have to be honest about what purpose they're serving in your life. And are they good for your mental health? Like, you have to constantly assess that, like you would a relationship. So stop holding on to relationships just because there is history, okay? Number 23, you deserve to be loved without chaos. I'm going to say it again. You deserve to be loved without chaos. You do not need to put up with or take anything that is toxic or negative. You deserve an easy love, okay? So if you're going to get in a relationship in your 20s, that is something you need to know. Number 24, if you are going to move out of your parents' house, okay, you need to be sure for 2 reasons. 1, make sure you are financially set, okay? Because times are rough. Okay. And it is so like sometimes you're in credit card debt and student loan debt and all the above. So if you are going to move out, be very sure. Okay. The other reason you want to be sure that you want to move out is also in the event that you would need a roommate. Y'all, honestly, if you can afford to live on your own, live on your own. It is nothing like being stuck in a lease with someone that you rather not be living with, okay? So definitely think about it before you move out of your parents' house. Now, for some people, I get it. There are some extenuating circumstances where you just got to get the ASAP, okay? And totally valid and understandable. So this is just my little 2 cents, okay? Because for real, being stuck in a lease with someone and it starts to feel a little like hostage. So don't do it. Number 25, eat more whole foods. Okay. Have y'all looked at the ingredients list? Okay. Now I am plant-based vegan, so I don't consume dairy, or any animal products, any meats. But even that, I still have to check labels, okay? If I can't pronounce it 9 out of 10, I don't need to be eating it, okay? These bioengineered products, all of these things are literally making us sick. Number 26, I think. Do more so you can regret less. It's that simple. Number 27. You do not need alcohol to have a good time, okay? Y'all, first of all, I was 28 when I learned that alcohol is legit poison. Now we putting poison in our body. So for me, I limit my alcohol consumption greatly. And give me a little champagne. And I'm good. Like little champagne, little wine, and I'm good. But like that hard alcohol, y'all, it is literally killing us. You don't need to have a good time to have, you don't need alcohol to have a good time, okay? And I know that's a tough pill to swallow because we have alcohol at almost every event. Number 28. Sometimes it doesn't get better. It just gets easier to manage and cope with. As someone who lost her grandmother and thought it would get easier, it honestly doesn't. Like, I'm being honest. And that's just grief, and how grief works as well. It's just not a linear process. But what I will say is it does get a bit easier to cope with and manage. The reality is you are a completely new version of yourself without this person. So sometimes we end up saying like, I just want to get back to who I was, like when my granny was alive. But the reality is you're navigating a life without her. So you're never going to get back to that person you were because she's not here anymore, right? Or they're not here anymore. So just know that, I can't sit here and tell you like, oh, it's going to get so much better in like a year or 3 years or 10 years. It just gets easier to manage with, okay? Number 29. You do not have to have it all figured out by 25, okay? I remember when I was in undergrad and I was like, by 25, I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna have a house. I'm gonna have 2 kids. Your girl just turned 30, okay? No kids. I do have siblings though that I help. But no kids, no house. Okay, not yet, at least. I actually think I want to own a condo and not a house. But it's okay. It's okay. It's really okay. Sure, your parents might have had a house and 3 kids and a dog and $50K in a savings account when they were 25. But times are different, okay? Times are different. Inflation is real. You are not behind. You are where you are supposed to be. Okay. And if you're unhappy with where you are, there are goals that you can meet or make to meet. But just know that like, you do not need to have it all together by 25, y'all. Like, I really feel like I really became stepped into myself a bit more I would honestly say like 27, 28, like I started being a little more selfish with my time and my mental capacity and just all the things, started like getting back to taking my health more seriously and started really learning like what it is I wanted for myself and my future, and just applying it to this new decade. So those are the 29 things that I learned in my 20s, and I am excited about this new decade. And just gonna make sure that I apply all those lessons I learned to this decade because it is me season, okay? Your girl is serious about her mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial health, okay? So I hope you all like this list. I actually had like 100 things that I wanted to say, but to go with the theme, I was like, let's just pick 29 things. So hopefully some of this resonated with you. If you are someone in your 20s, really, really, really let me know your thoughts. What are some things you're struggling with? Something that resonated with you. And if you are in your 30s, what's something that maybe resonated with you as well, or something that you learned? So excited to hear from you all, and grateful for you all for sticking through this with me and getting to the end of this video. So I will see you all next time. Bye.